Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to study the new chapter tissues. You know that the importance of cells and the cell theory. In from the last chapter, we recall that all living organisms are made up of cells. In unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all basic functions. For example, amoeba. A single cell carries out movement, intake of food and respiratory gases, respiration and excretion. But in multicellular organisms, there are millions of cells. Most of the cells are specialized to carry out a few functions. Each specialized function is taken up by a different group of cells. Since these cells carry out only a particular function, they do it very efficiently. But in human beings, muscle cells contract and relax to cause movement, nerve cells carry messages, blood flows to transport oxygen, food hormones and waste materials and so on. In plants, vascular tissue conduct food and water from one part of the plant to other parts. So, multicellular organisms show division of labor. Cells specializing in one function are often grouped together in the body. This means that a particular function is carried out by a cluster of cells at a definite place in the body. This cluster of cells called a tissue. A tissue is arranged and designed to give the highest possible efficiency of function. Blood, phloem and muscles are all the examples of tissues. Blood, phloem and muscles are all examples of tissues. A group of cells that are similar in structure and work together for a particular functions forms a tissue. So you know that cell. Here once again recalled about it. Here cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organisms. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organisms. So what do you mean by tissues? So let us know about that. Here tissues is a group of cells having similar structure and function. In plants and animals, group of cells called tissues, it's carried out the specific function. For example, in human beings, the cells of the muscular tissue contract and relax and help in movements. Same as in plants, the cells of the vascular tissue conduct water and food from one part to another part of the body. So here observe here, there are types of muscles. Smooth muscles, skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles are the three types of muscles. So xylem and phloem is the main tissues are present into the plants. Here xylem is the water conducting tissue and phloem is the food conducting tissue. So in plants these tissues work together and form the function. And then differences between plants and animal tissues. So what are the importance of the plant tissues? So you know that plants do not move from one place to another. Most of the cells and tissues in plants provide mechanical support and strength. So most of the tissues consist of dead cells. because they provide mechanical support and strength to the plant. Because they provide mechanical support and strength to the plant. So the growth of plants takes place only in some regions. Some plants have tissues called meristematic tissues. Some plants have tissues called meristematic tissues. So meristematic tissues divide and help in growth, and permanent tissues which do not divide. So animal tissue. So animals move from place to place. Plants do not move from place to place, but animals move from place to place and need more energy than plants. So most cells and tissues in animals are living cells. The growth of animals is more uniform. So animals do not have separate dividing and non-dividing cells. Animals have organs having specialized functions. So the organs have specialized tissues. So from these specialized organs, say they do specialized function. And plant tissues. So let us see about the one by one. In the plant tissue, plant tissues are two main types. There are two main types of plant tissue. They are meristematic tissue and permanent tissue are the two main types of plant tissue. So meristematic tissue. So again it can be classified into three types. Meristematic tissue are classified into three types. Observe this chart. Apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue and lateral meristematic tissue are the three types of meristematic tissue. Apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue and lateral meristematic tissue are the three types of meristematic tissue. And permanent tissue are of two types. They are simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue are the two types of permanent tissue. There are two types of permanent tissue. They are simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are of three types. Simple permanent tissue are of three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma are the three types of simple permanent tissue. And complex permanent tissue are of two types. They are xylem and phloem. So let us see about that one by one. So let us see about that the importance of meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissues are found in the growing regions of the plant. So observe here. So how the meristematic tissues are helpful to growth the plants. Here meristematic tissues are found in the growing regions of the plants like the tips of root, stem and branches. Here meristematic tissues are present in the tips of the plants, roots and the branches. They divide continuously and help in the growth of the plant. There are three types of meristematic tissue: apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue. See apical meristematic tissues. Apical meristematic tissues are present in the tips of stems and roots and they help in growth of stem and roots. Apical meristematic tissues are present in the tips of stem and root and they help in the growth of stems and roots. Lateral meristematic tissue. Lateral meristematic tissue are present in the sides of stems and roots. They help to increase the girth of the stems and roots. Lateral meristematic tissues are present in the sides of stems and roots. They help to increase the girth of the stems and roots. Intercalary meristematic tissues. So intercalary meristematic tissues are present at the base of leaves and internodes and help in the growth of those parts. Intercalary meristematic tissues are present at the base of leaves and internodes and help in the growth of those parts. Here observe. So observe figure number A, stem apex, and figure number B, root tip, showing the meristematic tissue. And then permanent tissue. So permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissue. Permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissue. They do not divide and have permanent shape and size. They do not divided the any numbers. They do not have any permanent shape and size. They differentiate into different types of permanent tissue. So permanent tissues are of two main types, you know that. They are simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. So let us see about that one by one. Simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are made up of one type of cells because they are very simple. There are three types, they contain the three types of cells called parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma are the three types of simple permanent tissue. How many types of simple permanent tissue? There are three types of simple permanent tissue. Which are they? They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma are the three types of simple permanent tissue. Parenchyma. Parenchyma consists of loosely packed, thin-walled cells having more intercellular spaces. Some parenchyma cells in leaves contain chloroplast and prepare food by photosynthesis. Some parenchyma cells have large air cavities which help the plant to float on water. Some parenchyma cells of roots and stems store water and minerals. Some parenchyma cells of roots and stems store water and minerals. Collenchyma. It's consisting of elongated cells having less intercellular spaces and thicker at the corners. Here, observe here. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma are the three types of simple permanent tissue. So parenchyma, they have large intercellular spaces in between them. Here the corners of the parenchymas are very thick. But in collenchyma, they have no large space in between them. And at the corners you have to see that the thick and thinner. You have to see that the thick elongated cells, and they connected into they are closely packed to one another. They give flexibility and allows easy bending of different parts like stem, leaf. They also give mechanical support of the body. So observe here the differences between the parenchyma and collenchyma. In parenchyma, they have large space in between them. They have thin walls at the corners. They have no intercellular space in between them. They give mechanical support to the plant. In collenchyma, the cells are closely arranged to one another. The corners of the cells are very thin. very thick. So at the corners of the collenchyma attached to one another, and they have flexibility, and they gives the mechanical support to the plant. And then sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma consisting of long, narrow, dead, thick, walled cells. So here observe here sclerenchyma cells. Here sclerenchyma cells are long, elongated and thick walled cells. The cell's walls contains lignin, a chemical substance which acts like cement and hardens them. It gives strength and hardness to the plant parts. It gives strength and hardness to the plant parts. So here see the difference between the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And then, so observe here how the cells are arranged. In parenchyma cells, here the unspecialized cells with thin primary walls. Its function is photosynthesis, secretion and storage. In collenchyma cells are closely arranged to one another. The walls are thick, so elongated cells with uneven primary walls leaving at maturity. It supports in leaves and stems. The function of the collenchyma are it supports in leaves and stems. And sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are elongated, very thick secondary walls dead at maturity. And its function is to support to the plant. And then complex permanent tissue. So complex permanent tissue are made up of more than one type of cells. Complex permanent tissue are made up of more than one type of cells. There are two types of complex permanent tissue. They are xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. So they are called vascular conducting tissues. So the xylem and phloem are also called vascular conducting tissues. So xylem consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers are the cells of the xylem. Xylem consisting of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers are the cells of xylem. The tracheids and vessels helps to transport water and minerals from root to all parts of the plant. The tracheids and vessels helps to transport water and minerals from roots to all part of the plant. Xylem parenchyma stores food and fibers help in support. Xylem parenchyma stores food and helps in plants to support. And phloem. Phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. So sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers are the cells of phloem. The sieve tubes and companion cells transports food from leaves to all parts of the plant. Phloem parenchyma stores food and fibers and it helps to support to the plant body. So observe here the figures xylem and phloem. Here fiber, tracheids, tracheids and vascular member and perforation plates are here. So in phloem, sieve tubes, fiber, sieve areas, companion cells and sieve elements are there. So these are all the complex permanent tissue. So complex permanent tissue are made up of more than one type of cells. So there are two types of complex tissue. They are xylem and phloem are the two types of complex permanent tissue. They are also called vascular or conducting tissues. You know that xylem is the water conducting tissue and phloem is the food conducting tissue. Okay dear students, today we shall discuss about the importance of tissues and differences between plants and animal tissues. So, and then how the meristematic tissues arranged, and then the permanent tissue and types of meristematic tissue and types of simple permanent tissue, and then complex permanent tissue and types of complex permanent tissue. Okay, thank you.